Oh, Steen, what an enormous pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is looking forward to this conversation. I remember the first time you and I spoke, 2017, you had raised at that time 200 million in equity. Just less than 4 years later, you're now almost 10x that. That is an absolutely extraordinary growth trajectory. And what I'd love to talk to you about today is what you've seen in the industry during that time. And I'm going to cast your mind back to start with, if you don't mind, to 2018. 2018 was a very important year for crowdfunding for two reasons. One, overall capital formation dropped dramatically in 2018, but crowdfunding exploded in growth. It over doubled. Do you remember that long ago? Do you remember what you saw during 2018? There was some terrible stock market volatility at the beginning of the year, and that led to a decline in capital formation. But I know your growth was huge. Tell me what you remember.
Yeah, Dr. Gower, it's wonderful to spend time with you today. And that's a great question to start. It's interesting because as we were leading up to 2018, what we really saw is one inflection point at CrowdStreet was 2016. I'll bring us back just 2 years prior, because 2016, the first inflection, we had finally seen the fruits of really 3 years of work of evangelizing to sponsors, to real estate developers and operators, that this new way of doing it, the crowdfunding way, number one, it was legal. Many of them didn't realize that Title II of the Jobs Act with a Reg D 506C had made this a legal way to raise capital, right? And that it was an efficient way to do it because, putting it online brings efficiencies. And so it had taken us till 2016 to start to see enough sponsors recognizing that this new medium, this new way of raising capital was really a great method. And so what we saw from 16 to 18 was that adoption from really high quality sponsors that were looking at this as an expandable way to raise capital. And so by 18, that kind of flywheel was starting to really click, right? And here at CrowdStreet, just as an example, to your point, we saw from 17 to 18 a 78% increase in capital raise from 142 million in 17 to 254 million in 18. So, and that only happens when the supply side of that marketplace comes online and says, I want to bring my product, this wonderful project, to investors across our country through an online medium. And so that's what we were really seeing, was that impact and that inflection point happening in 2018. We'll get to 19 and 20, but 18 was definitely a defining moment in terms of really substantial sponsors and projects coming online.